He was a man of terrifying barbarity, a genius at political treachery. For a quarter of a century, he organized, he exploited, engaged in mass murder, until he dominated 1/3 of the world. His name is Joseph Stalin, and this is his biography.
One man rose from poverty and obscurity to shape the course of the 20th century through blood, fear, and power. His name became synonymous with terror, yet his legacy helped forge a superpower. This is the story of Joseph Stalin, the iron ruler of the Soviet Union from 1924 until his death in 1953. No, he wasn't born Joseph Stalin. His real name was Josip Vissarionovich Djugashvili, Russianized to Joseph Vissarionovich Djugashvili. Born in 1878 in Gori, Georgia. His father, Vissarion, was a cobbler and alcoholic. His mother, Ekaterine, a devout Christian and washerwoman, hoped he would become a priest. But life was hard. He survived smallpox at age 7 and later suffered a carriage accident that left his left arm disfigured, a condition that would ironically exempt him from military service in World War I. At 15, Stalin entered the Tiflis seminary to train as a priest. But instead of finding God, he found Karl Marx. He rejected religion, declared himself an atheist, and was expelled in 1899. That moment marked the beginning of his revolutionary journey. In 1901, while working at the Tiflis Meteorological Observatory, Stalin joined the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party and began organizing strikes. He became an admirer of Vladimir Lenin and supported the Bolsheviks after the party split in 1903. He quickly earned a reputation for being ruthless, loyal, and effective. He was arrested in 1902 and exiled multiple times to Siberia, but escaped almost every time. By the early 1910s, he adopted the name Stalin, meaning man of steel, and became editor of the Bolshevik newspaper Pravda. To understand Stalin's world, we must understand Tsarist Russia. The Romanov dynasty ruled Russia from 1613 until 1917. The Tsar, also known as the Emperor, held absolute power over the government, military, legal system, and church. There was no elected parliament or political accountability until the 1905 revolution, and even then, reforms were limited. The final Tsar, Nicholas II, ruled during a period of growing unrest. Rapid industrialization, widespread poverty, worker exploitation, and military defeats in wars, especially the Russo-Japanese War 1904 to 1905, and World War I 1914 to 1918, severely weakened the regime. As discontent grew, revolutionary ideas spread. Stalin became part of the underground movement that sought to overthrow the Tsarist system. Then, the First Revolution. The first phase of the Russian Revolution began in February 1917, March in the Gregorian calendar. Long-standing political, social, and economic issues boiled over, compounded by food shortages and the disastrous impact of World War I. Mass protests erupted in Petrograd, modern-day St. Petersburg, and the military eventually mutinied, siding with the demonstrators. The government collapsed under pressure, and Tsar Nicholas II abdicated on March 15, 1917, ending more than 300 years of Romanov rule. Power was handed to a provisional government composed of liberal and moderate leaders. However, the provisional government failed to address key demands like peace, land reform, and economic relief. This set the stage for a second, more radical revolution later that year, the October Revolution. Stalin had joined the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party in 1899 and sided with Lenin's Bolshevik faction when the party split in 1903. He engaged in revolutionary activities, including organizing strikes, spreading propaganda, and committing expropriations, or armed robberies to fund the party. He played a key role in the October Revolution of 1917, which overthrew the provisional government and established Bolshevik rule. During the subsequent Russian Civil War in 1918 to 1922, Stalin served in administrative and military roles, where he used brutal tactics and gained further influence. By this time, he had developed a reputation as a loyal, capable, and cunning Bolshevik operative. Due to his activities, by 1922, Lenin, who was in power, had appointed Stalin as General Secretary of the Communist Party, a seemingly administrative role. However, this role gave him control over party appointments, and with it, the power to shape the party from within and consolidate his influence. By the early 1920s, Lenin's health was in decline after a series of strokes. He grew increasingly wary of Stalin's behavior and ambition, particularly following a personal dispute over nationalities policy and Stalin's rudeness to Lenin's wife. In Lenin's testament, a letter written in 1922-1923, he warned the party to remove Stalin from his position as General Secretary, fearing he was too dangerous. However, Lenin's warnings were not acted upon. After Lenin's death in January 1924, a fierce power struggle ensued. Stalin maneuvered skillfully within the party, using his role to build alliances and sideline rivals, most notably Leon Trotsky, a key figure in the revolution and Lenin's presumed successor. Despite being warned by Lenin's testament, the party leadership did not release it widely. Stalin manipulated the situation to his advantage. Trotsky was gradually removed from positions of influence and expelled from the Communist Party in 1927. By 1929, he was exiled from the Soviet Union entirely. Following Trotsky's removal, Stalin consolidated his power by purging rivals, centralizing authority, and eliminating dissent. By 1929, he was the de facto leader of the Soviet Union. Though he never officially adopted the title of dictator, his control was absolute. He would rule the USSR until his death in 1953, initiating massive industrialization, brutal purges, widespread repression, and a totalitarian regime that would shape the nation for decades to come.